I mean, there's not an avenue that Conway's hadn't gone into. It's just one of them big conglomerates. They've gotten into the recording. They've gotten into catering. I can't do anything. I like mom and pops. I know, right? Almost like Walmart. Exactly. Conway's. I like mom and pops. What's up, Pop? How you doing, Billy? How you doing? Hey, I enjoy y'all coming in and talking with me today, man, and just joining us. Tap away, tap away. Everybody had somewhere to go today. Everybody's like, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. I gotta go to this. I gotta go to that. Yeah. So I appreciate y'all joining us. Conway blew up overnight, man. I don't even know what Conway is into anymore. I don't know what Conway is into anymore, man. He is just, I woke up and they were talking about he's into everything. I'm off work today just so I get to hang out longer with my friends. Exactly. I don't think I have to go to the office today either, since one of my bosses is in Mexico. I think a lot of people had to go to, I'm going to do some sharing here. Have to go to school and, that kind of thing. Conway's is like Buc-ee's. Yeah, they got some $30 a pound beef jerky. No, but that's not it. They sell Smokehouse Bayou there, so it's not $30 a pound. It's real. I think it's more than that a pound at Buc-ee's now. Over. Have y'all been to Buc-ee's? Have y'all seen the jerky prices at Buc-ee's? It's crazy. Hey, we finished Hebrews yesterday. If you saw us, we were on location in my truck. And so if you saw that, I know it's insane, but beef is so insane. So I get it. Yeah. Prices at Buc-ee's on some stuff are kind of crazy, especially their prep food, but it's great. But you have a very captive audience. So, no, I haven't. Hiding from the chop shop. No, I'm good. $32 for what? We got to talk about this. Mandy, come up with me. What are we talking about? Come on up with me.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey.
Yes. Okay. I typed that in. You're talking about how much things have gone up.
Yeah.
No joke. We've got those Oral-B electric toothbrushes,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have to replace the heads on them.
Yeah.
All right. Yesterday, when I was in CVS grabbing some stuff, I went, I need to get some new toothbrush heads. A two-pack, even in the CVS brand for the Oral-B toothbrush heads was $32.
Good gracious.
I'm not making it up. CVS. I went, okay, no. I went negative. I will go look somewhere else because CVS is high anyway. But
I got them at Sam's, and I think I got them at Sam's, and got like the full pack. You know,
I've got to go to Sam's today anyway because tomorrow my daughter's hosting her fiance's 30th birthday party, and Mama had to
I
swoop
want to
in
bring
and
up
help.
Lee. Hold on, I want to bring up Lee.
Bring her up.
I want to talk to people today. It's Fellowship Friday.
That's right.
It's Fellowship Friday. Look at my sweet friend Lee and Mandy here joining me on a Friday. That's awesome. Hey, Miss Lee,
Hey,
how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing today?
Good. I'm in the mood to talk to people today.
I'm always in that mood.
Hey, me too.
Yeah.
Mandy,
We'll probably just start doing this on Fellowship Friday. We're just like Paw does it. I'm just gonna do it too. I continue like I saw all the fun they were having over there, and I was just like, why am I not doing this over here?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So yeah. So what do y'all got planned this weekend? What are y'all doing?
Well, go ahead, Lee.
you go ahead, Mandy.
Okay. Well, my son Cole and his fiance are coming in from Charlotte, North Carolina today for the weekend.
Okay.
Tomorrow, Lily, my daughter, is hosting her fiance's 30th birthday party.
All
Mama
right.
had to swoop in. So Mama called the caterer and ordered a bunch of things, and I'm gonna go to Sam's and pick up things and go to my cake baker. I said, Mama, I'll handle this, that. And she's like, Mama, you don't have to do that. I'm like, yeah, she does. So anyway, Mama has swooped in, and we got his.
Mamas are wonderful.
Mama swooped in, but she's got about 60 people coming to their house. Y'all pray for no rain. It's only 30% chance tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
I think so too. But
30% chance is nothing when you're like when we look at barbecue, like barbecuing outside. We look at like cooking competitions and stuff. 30% chance is nothing.
you're right,
It's not
30's
anything.
low to me too. 30's
Yeah,
low
it's
to me
not. It's
too.
not gonna do anything.
But that's what we are doing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a big time. It's going to be fun. She did it a golf theme. It's like tee off to 30 or something, but it's a whole golf theme party. It's going to be fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
can't
about
wait.
you, Miss Lee?
Well, my weekend's not going to be nearly as fun as Miss Mandy's.
I can't imagine mine ever is.
Unfortunately, our air conditioner went out last night, leaked all over the basement floor, so we're going to be fixing flooring this weekend.
Oh no.
Oh,
We had
gosh.
to shut it off last night, and it wasn't too bad.
No.
I'm gonna try to be out of the house as much as possible. I called the man this morning, and they said we'll put you on the list. I don't know what that means. I don't know when they're coming. I pray that they're coming today. But we got the wind is open and the fans on right now, so
Oh, gosh. I hate that.
I would
hate
go.
that.
I would go buy me a window unit quick.
well, we do have one. We do have one in one of the bedrooms, so we may all be piling up in the same room. We're going to buy another window unit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be all right. I am. You know what? It'll be okay. It's all going to be all right. Worst things, could happen, and
Exactly.
it's going to be all right.
You know,
One
we,
way or another.
can you imagine like, and I know we think about this and it's like first world problems, but you know how we're without air, but that's not one thing that's a non-negotiable for me.
Oh, me
Like, you know what
too.
I'm saying? Like that's like if I was like if my air went out in my truck, I'd probably just have to like I would figure something out. I'm like, man, I got to get this fixed or trade it in or something. I mean, like it's just a non-negotiable.
Me too. Me too. I cannot take, the older I get,
Oh
I
yeah,
have, I'll tell you the other day or within the week, last week, we
Yeah.
had one day when the temperatures finally cooled down a little bit. We weren't at 105 down here every day. And there was one day that it was like 80 with zero humidity. It was amazing. Well, it's climbing back up. And the last few days have been just thick humidity. The older I get, I can tolerate heat, but I cannot tolerate the humidity. So I'm with you. No AC.
You wouldn't be able to tolerate Mississippi very much because it is sticky down here.
Well, that's how it is in Charleston, South Carolina. The humidity there is rough, and
I know it is around Lee's area too. It's
Tennessee. And you know what's funny is I was thinking about this. We did not have central heat and air in my house when we were growing up as kids.
No.
We had Mom and Daddy had an air conditioner in their bedroom, and there was a window unit in the kitchen, and then we just had window fans. Me and my sister in our rooms, and I think I was probably 25 years old before Mom and Daddy didn't live there anymore. When Mom and Daddy got central heat and air put in our house, and I thought, how did we live like that when we were kids? And we didn't even think about it. I didn't think about it when I was a kid.
I don't think
any different.
I'm so hot I'm dying when I was a kid.
I don't
didn't
think
know any
I
different.
ever saw central heat and air until I was probably 18, 19 years old.
Really? Really?
I mean, like, I never lived in a house that had central heat and air until then.
Really? Right. Well,
But Miss Mandy, I was the remote control for probably the first 7 or 8 years of my life.
well, I do remember those days. I remember. Oh yeah, I remember those days.
I was threatened to the end of my life if I thought I was going to rip that knob off that TV, because my granddaddy said that to me, because I would try to see how fast I could turn it. But we only had like 3 or 4 channels at some part of my life. So
Oh, exactly. Oh, I remember when you had channel here. It was channel 4, 7, and 13, and then the U channel.
yeah,
You know,
we had
the
3,
education-
5, 5, 10, and 13.
Yeah. Oh, I remember those days. You remember the antenna that rotated on the top of your house? Yeah, we had that too back in the day.
That's awesome.
Andy Griffith or the Dukes of Hazzard if I was watching TV with my daddy, and if it was Mom, she was watching Star Trek.
We never missed Hee Haw.
Yeah, we watched Hee Haw.
We had to watch Hee Haw. If you were at my granddaddy's house, we had to watch Hee Haw. Somebody put up a picture the other day about an old living room, and it had this couch that we had. I think everybody had the same couch back then for some reason, like the wagon wheels, like the orange and brown and tan.
Yes.
With the wagon wheel scene in the background, like the old barn with the wagon wheel. I don't know how everybody had that same couch. And then, like, you could get like the wood armrest or the covered armrest.
Yes.
But we all had the same thing. And this was, and I'll put up a picture of this on my TikTok today. But it had like the shag carpet, and it had over the top of it, it said, "What's missing in this picture?" And what I could tell you right off the bat is that I grew up in a time where ashtrays were part of furniture,
Yes.
and that you picked out an ashtray at the furniture store like it was a piece of furniture. It was like almost like an appliance. And at my mom and dad's house, we had an orange one. It was bright orange. It was orange, and you flipped. There was a little knob on the side, and you turned it, and the ashes fell down. Like the bottom opened up, and it fell down in there, right?
Oh my gosh! You know, we didn't have nothing like that, but I was.
I know
raised
that
in
was
an ashtray
fancy
in the
for
house.
1982. That was some fancy stuff, right? And so, and then my granddad had one in his living room at my grandmother's house, and it would sit right beside the sofa, and I still have it. I still have his cigarettes, his ashtray in my house, like upstairs in my office.
Oh, cool.
And it's a pedestal, and it has a horse's face on it, and it had a gold ring coming out of the
Oh,
nose.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You're knowing exactly what I'm
I
talking
know
about.
exactly which one.
And it had a gold ring coming out of his nose or something. And then then it had a platform and a glass
Yep.
ashtray was in
Yep.
there. And then it had a gold handle
Sure did.
across the top or a brass or whatever. And where you could move it anywhere you have it. And I still have that
That's
upstairs in my office. And I just remember them laying there on the couch watching Hee Haw and flicking his ashes in that ashtray. And then I would be the one to go clean it out. Like I would clean out the ashtray. I did everything for this man. You have no idea. He drove an 18-wheeler. He drove an 18-wheeler for Illinois Central for years and years. And so he came home on the weekends and we treated him like a king.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't a thing. He was a big man. He was 6'2", and just was bigger than life to me, And so here he was, and I'd clean his ashtrays, and he'd drive me uptown, and I would go inside. I would go inside the liquor store and buy his old Charter. And I knew, the man knew where I was coming from. Like the man knew me, knew who I was. So I would lay money on the table because it was lay money on the counter, and it was just Winston Reds and old Charter, 8-year-old old Charter.
Oh yeah. I know it. Those are the days.
Those were the days. You wouldn't let a kid do that. There I was buying 2 things that I wasn't old enough to buy. I'm thinking 10 years old,
Oh yeah. My daddy was 6'4", bigger than life.
Yeah.
But I can remember running in the pantry. It was called the pantry.
Yep.
And we'd go in there to get drinks, a little candy, whatever. And Daddy would say, "Pick me up a pack of Winston Lights."
Mm-hmm.
And we would just say, "And a pack of Winston Lights, please." And they'd just hand it to us. And there we were, maybe 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
you could look out that door and you could see my granddaddy sitting in his truck.
Right.
If the man ever wanted to talk to him, he was sitting right there.
Right.
If you were going to go out and talk to him, he wasn't going to come in there and talk to you. He said, I got my little runner right here in this truck. And he's going to go out there and do whatever. One night we were somewhere and I was probably 13. And he said, "Boy, get in the truck and go get some ice." And we were outside of town in the country, all sitting around a fire and cooking steaks and stuff. And he said, "Boy, go get in the truck, go get some ice." I said, "Papa, I'm not old enough to drive." He said, "Do what I said." And about that time, my cousin's boyfriend showed up out there because it was a bunch of us out there. My cousin's boyfriend showed up, and I said, "Thank you, Donnie," because Papa was about to whoop me because I didn't want to drive, and because it's Friday, Saturday night, at night, and I said, "Will you take me to the store and get some ice?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll take you to the store." If my papa said it was going to get done. It was just like that. It was just, he was just. It was so funny because we lived in this house. I lived in this house over the weekend because I lived at my nanny and papa's house on the weekends, and nobody ever thought about it. It was 2 bedrooms, and my nanny and papa's bedroom, and then there was a back bedroom, and that was where my mama and her sister and her other sister all stayed in one bedroom. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't big as nothing. There was a 1 bathroom in the hall, 1 bathroom in this whole little house. It probably wasn't 1,200 square feet.
Was it a mill house?
It was small. It was really small.
Sounds like a mill house.
And it was right by the railroad tracks. and I would invite people over sometimes. When I got older, I would invite people over to stay at my papa's house with me, and or come stay, and I'd put them in that back bedroom, and that southbound train would come through about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it sounded like it was coming through the house, y'all. I'm telling you.
We used to live near a train track.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun.
When I was pregnant with Lily, we lived in the historic district downtown, and there was a train track that ran right across from our house. But we got so used to it.
Yeah.
And one time I was running late for work, and I called. This was when I was still in hotel world, and I called and left a voicemail. Well, when I was leaving the voicemail, the train was going right by the house. I didn't notice it. Well, when I got to work, my GM said, "Mandy, where were you calling from?" And I went, "My kitchen." And he said, "I want you to listen to this voicemail." And he played it back.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. It sounded like the train. It sounded like I was on the train track. It sounded like I was on the train.
Yep.
And I died laughing, and I was pregnant with Lily. And I said, "Oh my gosh, Lily is when I have this little baby, she's never going to take a nap. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a situation." Guess what? She heard that baby in my tummy. I mean, that train the whole time I was pregnant.
It was like second nature.
She slept right through it all the time. Didn't
That's
phase
right.
her.
That's the most relaxing sound in my life.
Never phased her. Never phased her.
That sound reminds me of home. So every time I hear that, it reminds me of being home.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing how sounds can be like I never even worried about it. It comforted me so much because that sound of that train. I know if y'all heard my testimony about me talking about being at my grandmother's house when she passed away, and the train passing by, and so that just gets me every time talking about trains. But yeah, it's amazing how sounds and smells and stuff like that get you back to somewhere else, you know.
Listen, Ashley, I understand. I relate. Ashley, my family was so gigantic. My daddy was the baby of 7 siblings, but I don't have a mama, a daddy, a grandma, a grandpa, or an aunt or an uncle on either side anymore.
Yeah.
I've lost every one of them.
Yeah.
So I relate, honey. I relate.
Yeah.
We were tight.
I am blessed enough to still have my mom and dad.
Gosh, you're so blessed.
And, you know, I'm 48 years old. I'm turning 49 in October.
My brother just turned 49 yesterday.
Good. And so, you know, I'm turning 49 in October, and I'm still blessed to have my parents and stuff like that. But they were young. You know, my mom was 21 when she had me, and I'm the oldest. I am the 26th of October is my birthday. Unky Monkey.
We got to remember that.
He must be getting me a present or something. No, I'm just joking. He might be an October kid too. Oh, you're the 21st. Awesome. And so, but my parents were pretty young. My dad's 2 years older than my mom. And, so I'm still blessed to have them. And,
my parents were both 78 when they passed.
Yeah.
That's young to me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's getting younger every day. Once you get, you know.
I'll be 59 next birthday. That sounds really young to me. Yes, sirree.
No way.
Yes, Ashley, I am 58 years old.
Oh, my goodness. Don't look a day of it.
Do not look like it, Miss Mandy.
Well, I appreciate it, but I am.
And what are you, Miss Lee? You're about. I don't like to talk about women's age
I'm 52.
Miss Lee, you don't look 22.
I am 52 years old, sir. I'm the same age as Pawpaw. I'll be 53 in November.
Well,
you don't look your age either, sweetie.
no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
quit drinking and smoking a long time ago.
I hear you.
I got a bunch
That'll
of
age you, won't it? I
I
mean,
got a bunch of friends that look 20 years older than me. They're
gosh, me
drinking and
too.
smoking,
Yeah.
and you can just see it all over their face. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't believe we're the same age. I don't say that out loud, but that's what I'm thinking in my head when I see
That's
it.
right. That's right. Yeah, pretty cute still. Jackie Chan is. Woo, says man.
Oh, Jackie Chan's in here.
Jackie Chan is a beautiful man.
He is. He's funny. You know what he says? Because he's Chinese. Well, he's half Chinese.
Yeah.
And when we go to like reunions, like his high school friends will be like, Robert, you haven't aged a bit. Why don't you have any wrinkles? He'll say, yellow and black don't crack.
That's right. That's right.
Because he's got that fresh oil in his
He is so
Chinese
awesome,
brown
man.
skin. He's hilarious.
He is so awesome.
He is so
Does he
Happy birthday, Julie.
I hate to be stereotypical, but does he cook? Does he cook like any Chinese dishes?
he can make some good rice.
Good deal.
He makes rice and sushi, but I do most of the cooking.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do most of the cooking. He could if he wanted. I mean,
Uncle Monkey.
you know, like chicken. He'll do like chicken or fish or some rice, but he's not
Yeah.
real into. So his mother is English. Okay, she's from Leicester, England.
Oh,
And
okay.
his biological father was Chinese, so Robert says he's Chinglish.
Oh my
Chinese and half
God.
English, so he says he's Chinglish.
He's Chinglish.
But his mama, they grew up. If you've ever eaten English food, it's real bland. They don't put a lot of spices on anything.
Yeah,
So
they
when we
don't
first
spice
started-
anything.
When we got together and I would cook, you know, I mean, Southern style with, you know, I mean, garlic and onion powder and Italian dressing and all this stuff. And he's like, you got to chill down on the spices, sister. I can't take it.
Oh, vanilla mouth.
So yes. And so it's a difficult life.
Yeah.
Because I want to spice it up a lot. So sometimes we have, you know, sometimes I might cook stuff in two different pans. I might do my
Really?
chicken in one pan and his chicken in the other. Now, recently he has started he's been able to eat a little bit more.
Well, if I ever cook for Jackie Chan, then I know not to.
Hey Lee, you'll get this, and all of our other Southern friends in here for sure. I would think. So there's only one mayonnaise. It's Duke's mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, Duke's mayonnaise plant is right here in Malden, right here outside of Greenville, South Carolina. Duke's.
Oh,
I mean, that's
love
it. Okay. And we take it serious down here. Okay. My husband, when we first got together, he was raised, I'm embarrassed to say it, on Miracle Whip.
That's not mayonnaise.
That's not mayonnaise.
That's sandwich spread.
Right, and it's gross.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Jeff, I'm not buying Miracle Whip. Well, then I would be sweet. I'd buy one of the little things just to have in the refrigerator for him. And he, anytime make a sandwich, he'd use that Miracle Whip. And anyway, it was probably about 4 years into our marriage. And I remember it vividly. I walked into the kitchen. Jeff was making a sandwich. Miracle Whip was in the fridge. And there he was slathering Duke's mayonnaise. I went, yes. I had converted him.
I converted him.
It only took about 4 years in marriage, and now
Yeah.
he is a Duke's diehard. I'm like, whew. I guess it's what you're raised on, but
It is. It's what you're raised on and what like are staples in your house. I'm very like, as a foodie, my wife says I'm a food snob, which I'm not. I like what I like, and that's it. But like brands, and I think mustard, like as far as yellow mustard, I think mustard is pretty much mustard.
I do too.
Like I'm not brand loyal about mustard,
I'm not
but
either.
Heinz ketchup has
Yep.
to be Heinz ketchup. There is
Yep.
no other ketchup. All that other stuff, just
Yep.
it might as well start with a C
Yeah.
because it's not Heinz ketchup. You know.
I agree.
We grew up eating like Kraft mayonnaise, which I'm not opposed to. I don't like Blue Plate. I like Blue Plate some. I don't like Hellman's at all.
I
But
It's fun if there is no Dukes. You know, if you're like in a somewhere where Dukes is not an option.
well, Dukes hadn't always been in Mississippi, so we just got. I mean, like it's been since I can remember, we've gotten Dukes, but since I had Dukes, I love Dukes, but you know, I don't.
Oh yeah,
But we haven't always had it. Now, on the ketchup side, the only other ketchup I will eat is spicy ketchup from Whataburger. You can buy it in the squeeze bottle.
We
And
just
so-
ate at Whataburger. We've eaten there 2 times. They just
Love
opened one here, and Jeff and I have gone over there twice now, and it's good.
Oh yeah, I have some Whataburger hacks. You know, like for breakfast, definitely, because I think their breakfast is better than their burgers, which I like their burgers too, but I think their
Okay.
breakfast is better, a better meal. But yes, I love Duke's mayonnaise. I do. I have been using like the olive oil mayonnaise here lately. So I buy that in the craft of the olive oil mayonnaise. It's a little healthier, you know, I've just been trying to choose things a little bit. But if I'm making me like a fried bologna sandwich, there is nothing better than Wonder Bread and Duke's mayonnaise.
Amen. My
And,
brother lives in Manhattan, and
oh,
he has to order Duke's mayonnaise to be delivered. So,
yeah.
yeah, he's not going to go without his Dukes. He's been
Yeah.
there 24 years. He's flying in actually on the 24th for a week. I can't wait. We got to finish tackling Mama's house. Did y'all see my video that some lowlife broke in my mama's?
You
You didn't see my TikTok?
Oh, I need to see that.
I was so upset, so upset. I woke up the other morning. Let's see.
I'll eat me a bob. Somebody. If
We-
y'all don't know what a bob is, it's
What's a bob?
breakfast on a bun at Whataburger. This is my first hack I'll give you. It's breakfast on a bun. You get it with the brioche bun and add a little mayo to it. And it's wonderful. Get a sausage bob on a brioche bun, add a little mayo to it.
Done. I'll tell Jeff too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's right here by our house.
Ricky Mo says extra sausage patty. See? And then if you're really going adventurous, you order you another order of hash browns and you put that hash browns on that bob.
Hey, I got a question for you, Ashley. I said it one day, the day I was making ribs or something. No,
I saw
it
those
was when I
country
first
ribs.
got
They
my.
look good.
It was when I I can't remember when. I asked you, being a barbecue guy, pit master, when you go out to eat barbecue somewhere,
I don't.
okay, you don't.
I don't even
asked
like
you if you
barbecue.
go, where's the place that you go? Where would you go?
I can tell you places. Like I've eaten barbecue, but that's not something that I go out and say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this now," unless I'm in Texas, because I think, and like if I was in North Carolina or somewhere, I would probably eat at their top spot because I've never eaten barbecue over there.
Yes.
South Carolina,
Yeah, North Carolina, South Carolina barbecue is different.
yeah. So if like, but if you were to ask me, if you were saying, "Hey, I'm coming to Memphis or Memphis area, and where can I go eat?" and I could tell you, Kansas City, yes, and Texas, yes, but I'm a fan of all kinds of barbecue, but I don't eat barbecue a lot, if that makes any sense.
It makes all the sense in the world.
Because every once in a while, I'll have a hankering for ribs. I'm not patting myself on the back, but the ribs that we cooked last Saturday at the shed were probably some of the best ribs I've ever eaten that were competition. And I'm not saying that just because they're mine. I'm just saying it like everything hit.
Oh, we believe you.
And Paw ate them too, and everything hit. And those ribs, I I got 10th place, and my buddy Mark Lambert, he got 8th place with the same ribs. I mean, like, we cooked the same exact recipe in the same exact cooker, you know. So those ribs were kind of just,
I bet,
extraordinary to me. And, you know, but as far as restaurant ribs, I like them every once in a while, you know, but I really, if I want barbecue, I'll cook barbecue at my house.
I get that 100% coming from you.
Yeah.
I do.
But my wife tells me all the time about, I say, man, I want to go out and I want to definitely go out and eat a steak somewhere. And she goes, well, you can cook such a better steak at home. And I was like, I get that, but sometimes you like to sit down and be served.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's nice to sit down and be served and not have to, like, worry about, you know, this and that. And
Actually, I've been in, you know, hospitality in some facet my entire career. Okay, now I have my own business, but I work with chefs nonstop. I have to create, write menus nonstop. Chefs that cook all day
don't want to eat.
They don't want to cook.
Yeah.
They don't want to cook when they get home. I mean, literally, like, you know, you're my executive chef when I was the director of sales for the Westin. When you cook all day for a hotel restaurant, room service, all the private events, he goes home and they don't want to cook. You know, a lot of people think, oh, well, you're married to a chef. I bet you're just eating like a king all the time. No.
It's not that way.
No, it's not. It's the complete opposite.
Now, we do a lot of stuff for content. Like I'm at a barbecue warehouse all day long, and Mark and I come up with ideas for stuff for content, like the Crystal Burgers you might have seen in the, and we do a lot of copycat stuff. You know, like there's a show I think on TV somewhere, the Food Network or something, where they take something. They take something fast food or something and make it gourmet. We don't necessarily do that. We try to make a close copy of it and see if we can make it better at home.
Oh.
And so we try to do that some. We've done like Wendy's chili and because I love Wendy's chili. And please don't tell me anything bad about Wendy's chili because
no, we all grew up on Wendy's chili.
I love Wendy's chili.
Yes.
But like Crystal Burgers came
but
out with
it's
that.
a coordinated
And,
conjunction used to introduce a contrasting or opposite
awesome.
idea. For example, I wanted to go for a run, but it started to rain.
What are we listening to?
What is
I know
that?
something weird just popped up on my phone.
I was like, I've been staring
Sounds
at
like
all
we
the
were going through a
squares. I'm like,
self-help. Ricky Moe says he worked at Wendy's as a kid. I just like the whole. I'm a big fan of the TV show on the Discovery Channel. I think it's on the Discovery Channel. The Food That Built America.
yes.
I love that show. I mean,
Love it.
absolutely. I love the whole story about Dave Thomas. I love how Dave Thomas used to work for KFC. And was it KFC? I think it was. That KFC, and Dave Thomas was, I mean, in all purposes, was a great man, you know, and the charity work he's done and all that. But I love, like, the movie, like The Founder that Pawpaw was talking about. I love that movie because of how to see people's ideas come to life. Like, I love that when people have a vision about something, and see how it came to life, and see how people like. If you watch the one about M&Ms,
I hadn't seen that one.
you hadn't seen that one. It was about M&Ms, and they came out like right. They were really coming out right when World War I started, or what was the World War with Pearl Harbor? I know I'm probably like.
Are you talking about dates?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember. I mean, I
I don't know.
love
Well,
history.
it was
I
one of
can't
the
remember dates.
world wars, you know. whenever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it was two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
So,
World War II.
yeah. But like, you know how those big brands got big is because they struck a deal with the U.S. Army, and they sent M&Ms in all of the U.S. Army packs, like all their, and they would ship M&Ms in these little cardboard tubes. And then when the war ended and all those boys came back, they were used to eating M&Ms and drinking Cokes. And that's why those brands blew up the way they did.
I love that so much.
I mean, because our whole country was we were the center point of food of the world, and we were. I think it's on Discovery Channel, but you can look it up. The food that built America, but there's these documentaries, and they recreate, the stories,
I love that stuff.
and it is so awesome. It's like my favorite thing. I found a channel where I can watch it 24/7. So, I mean,
I have a little story. Can I tell it?
yes, please.
Oh, it kind of lines up, but it's a wild story. I think y'all will find this just wow. When I was the director of sales, not for the Westin, but for the Hampton Inn, and it was downtown Greenville, and it was not a normal Hampton Inn. It was a boutique, more
Yeah.
hotel on the river downtown Greenville. Anyway, Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Right.
So I knew I had made the reservation. I knew he was coming in and staying with us because he was speaking to the Boy Scouts of America at the huge convention center. So I was waiting for Mr. Cathy and his people to check in to greet him and whatnot. Well, got him all settled. Well, his assistant was this young boy that he just treated like his grandson.
Yeah.
Said, and Mr. Cathy's son, Bubba Cathy, they stopped by the desk and they asked for me and they said, Mandy, we're going to go run through the park. Our downtown park in Falls Park in Greenville is breathtaking. He said, we're going to go for a run. Dad's upstairs napping. I said, okie dokie. Do I need to go check on your daddy? He said, no, we've told him to call down if he needs anything. Well, fast forward, all of a sudden, my assistant general manager screams, Mandy, come on. I didn't know what we were doing. All I know is I took off like the Bionic Woman, okay? He was Lee Major. I was the Bionic Woman. We went up to the 6th floor through the stair rails. Oh, yeah, we got up there like 14 seconds flat. Yeah. Adrenaline pumping. I didn't know whose room we were going to. I didn't know nothing, but I knew it was a massive emergency. Well, the door was wide open. When we walked in, I didn't know whose room it was. Did not know what room we were running to. When we walked in, there was an elderly man laying on the bed in his little white tighty-whities, covered in blood, blood everywhere, like somebody took a hose pipe and just sprayed the whole room. And Bubba looked up. Matt walked in, our assistant GM. He said, my name is Bubba Cathy. This is my daddy, Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A. While Bubba and the assistant were running, Mr. Cathy decided to get up and try to take a shower, and he slipped and fell and busted his head. But he had enough strength. He was bleeding from his head. It busted a main artery on top of his head. And bless his heart. I mean, you know how you just go into action?
Yeah.
I was screaming out orders left and right, and then when the paramedics were loading him up, all he was in was his underwear. I'm grabbing the white robes out of the closet right there and wrapping him up warm. Well, I went to the hospital and I sat there the whole time until he was all stitched up, everything. And his son went on to the convention center. I said, you go on. You speak for your daddy. I'm not moving. And it wasn't because he was Mr. Cathy.
No, it was just the right thing.
Most precious people. I said, listen, I'd want somebody to do this for my daddy or my grandpa. Go speak to those little boys. So I stayed there the whole time. And then once he was released, we got him back on his we took him down to the airport and we put him back on his little private plane. And I said, please let me know. So one of y'all call me. I was so scared about him getting on a plane and flying after having his head stitched up.
Yeah.
I want you to know the next morning my cell phone rang. And Mr. Kathy said, Mandy? I said, yes, sir. He said, this is Truett Kathy. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you called me and let me know you're okay. He said, I'm sitting here having my coffee and my toast. And I just want to thank you. You just sat in that. And I said, listen, listen, all I saw was a daddy and a grandpa. That's all I saw. You know what I mean? But they were the most precious, loving people. I just can't explain it.
Oh, wow.
It was wild.
Well, needless to say, you're a Chick-fil-A fan, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I always have been down here.
That's some of that Jesus chicken.
They did Lord's work. Hey, this is funny. This is the last thing, and I'll be quiet. Saturday, I was coming up the road, but in my brain, I thought it was Sunday. And I looked over, and the Chick-fil-A line was really long, but in my brain, it was Sunday. And I thought, Mr. Kathy is rolling in his grave.
Uh-huh.
He's rolling. Somebody news come in and opened Chick-fil-A on Sunday. I felt heartbroken.
Yeah.
And then it hit me by the time I got home, Mandy, it's not Sunday, it's Saturday. I was all in a tears thinking, oh,
You just get all worked up.
I got all worked up because Mr. Kathy wasn't going to have that.
No, I mean, I'm so glad that they haven't changed that. I hope they never do. It's just, that is one of those things that, I've actually thought about this. What if I started a franchise and put them by every Chick-fil-A and was open on Sunday and I called it Side Chick? So,
That's funny. That's big time funny. Hey, CVS across the street comes to Walgreens on every corner.
I mean, they do it all the time.
Yeah, on every corner.
Yeah. So I had that whole concept like drawn up and everything had a logo. And we have a chicken salad chick here too. I like chicken salad chick. But somebody just mentioned that. But I had the whole concept and menu and all that one time.
Wow. Wow.
Now, there's probably somebody else that had that idea too, but very similar. But I think about visions like that. Somebody asked me, why don't you open your own restaurant? And I go, there's no way I would want to do that now. That'd be like married to another woman.
It is. You're married to it. My first husband said I was married to the hotel.
Exactly. So, because I was married to every restaurant I worked at.
Oh, yes.
So, if I ever did that where, and somebody said, well, you could just own it and you wouldn't have to be there. And like, no, you don't know how I work. So
that doesn't exist. And
that you can't be hands off in something you care about. That's why like Chick-fil-A says you have to be an owner operator. Like you have to dedicate so much time to your store, to that franchise. So if you buy into Chick-fil-A franchise, it's not just, you're not just the name on the financee. You're in that store, operating that store.
Oh, yes. I was married to Lily's daddy for 10 years.
Yeah.
And when I became the director of sales for the Weston Poinsett, I had just had Lily. She was an infant. And Jeff said, Tommy said, Mandy, you are married to that hotel. But when you're at that position, that's your job position, I have to be there at 8 o'clock to start a sales meeting. But then I had to, if I had CEOs coming in from BMW or whatever, I got to be there to greet them.
Yep.
Take
and you didn't feel comfortable letting somebody else do it.
Yes, you can't. Not those big accounts.
No.
No, you married to it.
At one time, when I lived in St. Louis, I was the general manager of the fourth busiest McAllister's Deli in St. Louis. I mean, in the country.
Wow.
Like we were in St. Louis, but we were in the country, the fourth busiest McAllister's Deli. These people, before we introduced McAllister's Deli to St. Louis, they didn't know what sweet tea was. You couldn't get sweet tea anywhere in the city, just about. And so now I've been back, and there's sweet tea everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know that McAllister's did that or it just gradually got up there. But 20 years ago, you couldn't find sweet tea anywhere in St. Louis, or over 20 years ago now. But I lived out in West St. Louis County, where a lot of like the St. Louis Cardinals lived, and they would come in the restaurant, and I saw, might not know this unless you're baseball people, but Jim Edmonds and Scott Rowland and Ozzie Smith and all this. And so, and a lot of my, my not childhood heroes, but not only childhood heroes, but I'm a big St. Louis Cardinals fan. If you don't know that, I'm a huge St. Louis Cardinals fan. Okay. And so here I am, and Jim Edmonds and Scott Rowland are sitting at the same table. And the first time I saw him in the restaurant, and he pulls up in a Ferrari, like an all black Ferrari, and I am geeking out. I am just like, in my inside, I am fanboying like crazy, And so I go up to him and I say, hey, Mr. Edmonds, I just wanted y'all to know that the way we take care of you here is the way we take care of everybody. And he said to me, oh, don't worry about it, man. We've been in here. We love y'all's place. Y'all don't bother us out here. Y'all not a bother and all that. I said, I just wanted you to know, when we check on you for tea and we check on you and see if you need anything, it's not because of who you are. And he says, I appreciate that. And so that was kind of like you treat Mr. Cappy the same way you would anybody.
Yeah.
Just because, and I just wanted them to know that, because I didn't want them to think that we were treating them any different than we would anybody else. Because the last thing about us, the most important thing to anybody, a celebrity, would be, hey, just treat me normal. Because every other place in their life, they don't get treated normal.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I hate to jump in, and I won't lead to talk, but being in the career that I have been in, probably wouldn't believe me of the people that I've been able to meet. The list of celebrities, presidential candidate, up close and personal. The BMW Pro-Am golf tournament was my account for 8 straight years. Mm-hmm. And you get so used to it. There's certain people that make you go to geek out mode, and you got to get control. You know what I mean? Yeah. Kevin Costner sent me into geek out mode the first time I got to meet Kevin Costner. Sure. Second and third year, now we know each other and we're hanging out, in the VIP tent. But the first year, my mama said, man, you better get control. You're going to lose your job. I said, I don't care. It'll be worth it. I don't care. I geeked flat out over Kevin Costner. But you meet so many people in that world, in that hotel world, especially when you're working in, 4 Diamond and 5, whatever. It's not because of me. It's just my job. It was my job.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it just put me in that position. But most of them are so sweet. That's what they want.
Yeah, they want you to treat them exactly the way.
Listen, I could do a live and tell hilarious and funny and heart stories that people wouldn't believe, and I wouldn't care if y'all did it. Oh my God. Yeah. Wayne Newton ordered room service. Wayne Newton. He was in our presidential suite. He was performing at the Peace Center downtown Greenville. And they did not want regular room service. They called me down in my office and said, Mandy, will you take Mr. Newton this food? I said, sure. They didn't want room service to go up. I don't know why, but I said, okay. So I ran down. I said, okay, chef, what you got? And I ran it up to Mr. Newton's room. Y'all, he opened that door. You know how he's always fixed, how he looks like a wax figure. Yeah. Y'all, he had on the Weston robe. His hair was stuck 10 feet off his head. He ordered 3 orders of chicken fingers, barefoot, the vision that I saw and the conversation I had standing there with Wayne Newton in that situation, we were just talking like, hey, how's it going? What's up? What else you need? And he's like, literally, I think I'm gonna need some Pepto-Bismol. I went, you being serious? And he went, yeah. I went, I got you covered. So I went and got a Pepto-Bismol and brought it back up. I'm like, well, if you order 3 orders of chicken fingers and all that honey mustard before you gonna need that for sure. But anyway, I mean, it's like these people are just so legit, most of them.
Yeah.
And
It's horrible when you meet. It's horrible when you meet somebody you really like, and they're not nice.
Well, there's one. I was so disappointed. Dan Marino.
You get very disappointed in the people.
Dan Marino disappointed all of us.
Really, I'd rather not meet them than disappoint me.
Dan Marino was. I hate to say it. I'm not being mean, but he was a big. Kurt Russell was also one of them. He was kind of nice. Because of my job, I had to be in charge of the VIP reception for them and entertain them and all that because they were all staying in the hotel when they came in for the golf tournament. And he was okay. I was a little disappointed, but Dan Marino he shocked me. It was like, wow, so many people look up to you. But I don't want to say anything mean, but let's just say he wasn't friendly. It was disappointing.
Yeah, it can be, huh? Yeah.
Yep.
So, I met a Christian artist that's on K-Love right now that we had VIP passes to and all this, and I met them backstage. Of course, it was like everybody, but he was very standoffish, and we got to he didn't talk to us. He said they made this big announcement that he was his throat was hurting and he was getting sick and he didn't want to talk to anybody, and so we just walked in like a cattle line and took a picture with this guy and then walked off. And that was it. And so I really like the guy, and I still like his music, but I really like the guy, and that's why I got the VIP passes. Me and my wife both like this guy, and I won't say who it is, but and so that's why I paid the extra money to get to meet him, and he never said a word to me. It was like, hey, how you doing? And then he just looked like stone-faced, and we took a picture and walked off. Thank you, Whit. Appreciate it. It has a bunch of stuff on the back. I'll have to show y'all a picture of the back of my shirt, too.
Lee, who have you met interesting?
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've ever... I don't know if I've ever met any celebrities. I'm trying to think. Oh, the only person I've ever met that is semi-famous is Jace Robertson that I could think of.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
I met Jace too, yeah.
He's a great guy. He's so nice. He's just like he is on TV in person. He is as real can be, buddy.
I would love to meet any of them.
Yeah, I stood right beside him. We were on the front row at this men's conference thing at a church, and we were going to hear him speak, and then he just stepped out and was standing right beside me, right before he went on stage, and that was, I've always had a thing like I watch Phil's tapes and stuff like that, and I like Phil Robertson. I love the podcast and all that they did. They're still doing, and then I was wanting to go see Jace, and Jace came to Hernando, and he wasn't doing a whole lot of speaking at that time, but they got him to come speak at this men's conference, and man, it was awesome. And I
bet it was. They are good people.
They are.
Did I tell my story about when we went to West Monroe and how we met him? So we were, if we got time.
Yeah.
The short version. So we had been watching, of course, I've been watching Duck Dynasty for years, and we've been watching the Unashamed podcast for a while, and we love, of course, Alan, Jason, Phil. And we went to West Monroe, Louisiana on a vacation one year because we just wanted to go somewhere different. We'd never been before.
Yeah.
And we went to the church that Al preaches at, which is Whites Ferry Road Church.
Yeah.
And Jace was there at church, and we were sitting in the church, and Cy was sitting 2 rows in front of us. And I think Phil may have been there, but he always goes out the front door up by the, pew because people mob him and want to talk to him. So he's got like bodyguards around him. They just take him out the front door. But Al had said, hey, we see some new people here today. If you're new, to church, come on up to the front and introduce yourself. We'd like to talk to you. And I was like, no. And Robert, come on, we're going to go talk to Al. So we went up and said hey to Al, and we told him, where we're from and that we love their podcast. And it was a great sermon. He was preaching on David and how that he had cheated with, Bathsheba, but he was still a man after God's own heart. It was a great sermon. And so we were, talking to him about the sermon, and we were getting ready to leave, and I looked over, and Jace was up over to the right on the front row, him and his wife and his family, but there was people talking to him and taking their pictures of them. I was like, let's leave. I don't want to be like a weird fan person at church, let's go. So we walked out to the back, to the lobby, and we were just standing there hanging out, waiting for all these people. And this man who went to church there came up to us, and he said, hey, y'all are new here. My name's, started talking to us and introduced himself and asked where we were from. And we stood there and talked to him about 20 minutes. And he said, well, hey, here's Jace. Let me introduce y'all to him. And Jace walked over, and he grabbed Jace, and he came over and introduced him to us and started talking to us. And we got our picture made with him, and he was just really nice. We just told him that we loved the podcast. We talked about Jesus. We talked about Jesus with him, and it was just really cool. And then that guy, after they left, he said, well, listen, how long are you all here for? And we said, we're here a couple more days. We're going tomorrow to the Duck Dynasty warehouse to do the tour. And he said, well, why don't we meet you guys for lunch after that, and we'll take you on a tour of West Monroe? And we said, sure. So him and his wife met us the next day we did the Duck Dynasty tour at the warehouse. And then they took us out to lunch at this little awesome local hole-in-the-wall joint of this lady who is friends with Miss Kay. She's real good friends with Miss Kay, and she's an awesome cook. And it's just this little hole-in-the-wall joint in these people's backyard. And all the locals go there. The parking lot was full. I mean, it was just grass where all these cars were pulled up.
Best time.
Yes. And it was, country cook. And we had, I think,
Meat and three.
Chicken casserole. Yes, meat and three. Had chicken casserole, fried okra. And, it was just so good. And So then we got they got in our truck with us and drove us around West Monroe, and he said, hey, listen, I got the gate key to the compound where the Robertsons live, so we're going to take y'all on a tour of the neighborhood.
Oh, you got the VIP.
Oh, you did get the VIP.
Yes, so he had the code, and we got to go. So they all live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we just drove around. Yes, Jackie Chan's on here. The guy's name was Scott, and his wife, they were so sweet. And we got to drive around their neighborhood and see all their houses. And, of course, Willie's got the biggest house. The rest of them had normal, pretty normal, like middle-class houses. But,
Well, didn't Phil and Kay still live in that original house they filmed the show in? They never...
Yes, Phil and Kay were the only ones that didn't live in the compound. And Cy didn't live in the compound. We drove by Cy's house.
Yeah.
Now, you can't go down to Phil and Kay's house. They got it gated off, and it's, down some other road. But we rode around the neighborhood where Al and Jace and Willie and Sadie live. And we saw, I think.
How fun.
Yeah. So anyway, we just got to drive around and look at their houses, and then we drove out, and then we went at like all the places on the show. We drove all the places on the show, like camp. What's it called? The camp that they all go to. Camp. Oh, it's got a weird name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We drove up to it. But anyway, it was a great time. It was really neat to see. We loved it. There's a picture on my Facebook page of us with Jace at church.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was a fun time. But anyway, the thing I wanted to say was that Jace is just exactly the same to your face as he is on TV. He was just real and down to earth, and yeah, we talked about Jesus for a minute. It's pretty cool.
All right, I gotta say this. My two faves, and y'all, there's hundreds, and I'm not saying that it's just because of my job. It's not because my name's Mandy. It's just the job I had. But out of all these, the Kevin Costners, the pro athletes, the music, all the music people, everything, my two favorite people that I've ever met in my entire career that I will never forget. One, every time he came into town, every year when he got to the front desk, he'd ask for me, pick me up, hug me, and swing me. But the first one that beats even Kevin Costner was Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
And the other is Larry Gatlin.
Oh, wow.
But Kevin Costner, Kurt Russell, all these just major people. Yes, that's fun and exciting. But Chris Christopherson, it was when I worked for the Hilton early in my career. He walked in with a T-shirt with the sleeves cut off, carrying his guitar, and said, "I have a reservation. My name is Chris Christopherson." Like we didn't know who he was.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was just as down home and drop dead good looking. Lord gosh. Lord help me. Okay. I'll stop there. And he was, okay, but he was sweet. Oh my God. I was having heart palpitations on that. This was in the early 90s. Yeah. But he was the most kind, precious, all the things. And then Larry Gatlin from Oak Ridge Boys.
No, he was Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers.
Yeah, the Gatlin brothers. Yes. Larry Gatlin always played in the golf tournament, and we became buddies. Yeah. And when he would get into town, he'd call me and say, "We're here. Get up here to this lobby, Mandy." And I'd go up there, and we just carried on and act like we are all acting.
Y'all went to high school together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just salt of the earth people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I worked for a country radio station, so there's not too many country country artists that I don't know or whatever,
Right.
Said Larry Gatlin. I was like, yeah, Larry Gatlin.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah, I thought about that song that, it's funny you said Chris Christopherson, because I thought about that song that I talked about yesterday, "Why Me, Lord." It's probably one of my first songs I sang in church after I became saved. It just really touched me. It just because we think about that all. If we really think about it, why me, Lord? Why have you blessed me with the things that you have blessed me with?
Amen.
Just like it starts out and it goes, "Why me, Lord? What have I ever done?
Yes.
To deserve even one."
Sing it.
Yeah, no. That's about all I got right now. But we are probably running into Tiffany's time today. I'm not sure that.
No, she sent a message. She's not going live.
Oh, okay.
That came across Pawpaw's live.
Oh, okay. All right.
I saw it real quick. Said that she could not go live today.
Well, I'm not as upset about it then.
Yep.
But yeah, I do want to join, start doing this on Fridays, bringing up different people and having a good conversation like this. And we probably got off on a little bit of a tangent, but
I think it's perfect and great because.
I think it was a great conversation. So I would anybody that wants to come on with us on Fridays, just send me a message or invite or something like that. We'll
we're all so many of us are so invested and buried in all of our lives. I think it's great that y'all are taking part of some of the lives on one day just to fellowship and get to know each other on a personal level and
That's right. I think
It's beautiful.
we see y'all. A lot of us that do have lives, we see y'all in our comments and all that. But do we? We don't get enough of like the interaction, that kind of thing. Because I might like talk back, to a comment I saw you make, but not that we get to talk to each other. And I just enjoy talking to each other so much, talking to other people so much, as you can probably tell. But I think that's why it's so important, like social media. I tell people this all the time. Ever since the social media came around, I still have a group of friends I text with and stuff, but every once in a while I like to pick up the phone and call and talk to my friend because I think talking is so important, because over text and over social media you can act like how people's lives are going by what they see. Don't look at somebody's life that they put out on social media and think that, oh, well, they're doing great, they're doing this and they're doing that, because we only see highlights of what people want us to see.
That's right.
So call and check on your friends, and you don't know somebody's affliction in somebody's voice over a text. Yeah. Because, I can text you anything, and if you don't hear my emphasis in that or how I put things out, then you might not know that there's something going on with me, or I might not know there's something going on with you.
That's right.
So call and check on your people,
Mm-hmm.
And when it's hot outside, call and check on your fat people in your life, because we're not doing okay. We're not doing okay. This is not fat boy approved weather out here in Mississippi. So call and check on your people. No, all kidding aside, call and check on your friends. If nothing else, leave them a voicemail and let them know that you care about them.
That's right.
Don't be afraid to tell somebody you love them.
That's right.
I've never been the fact that my mom's side of the family is very like touchy-feely, huggy, hey, I love you, all this thing. And then my dad's side of the family, never. My dad didn't tell me he loved me until he had heart surgery. And I'm like,
heart.
And then, yeah, I mean,
Your heart?
he had heart surgery, and then he got this thing, but I always, when I ended the phone conversation, and when I was living in St. Louis is when he had heart surgery. So when I called him on the phone, I was like, love you, Dad. I always ended the phone, all right, love you, Dad. And he was like, yeah, son. That was it. And so we hung up the phone. But now, when I call him, I was like, all right, love you, Dad. He goes, love you, son. He'll say it. But till he had heart surgery, he did not say, I said, did you, and I talked to the surgeon once, because I was there. I came back home from heart.
You fixed his ticker. You softened the heart up in there.
Did you give him somebody else's heart in there? Because he's acting like a different man in there. But I've heard that a lot. Somebody just said heart surgery changes a lot of people, and I think it does. And Jenny says my dad was exactly the same way, but I knew he loved us. Yeah, I mean, I knew my dad loved me.
Yeah.
It's just I was always quick to a point to say that to somebody, because you never know when your last breath is on this earth.
That's right.
And I always wanted the people to know where they stood with me.
That's right.
I don't let things go unresolved. I'm not one of those people that go, well, she'll get over it, that kind of thing. No, we're going to hash this out. We're going to talk about it right now, because I can't live with that, and I've gotten better at that since my relationship with God, that relationships are the most important things that we have in this world. It's starting with our relationship with God. but also our relationship with our family. And it seems like when your relationship with God gets better, your other relationships fall in place. I hope they do.
Yes.
But it seems that way. And so that we can have better conversations because of the conversations that you can have with Jesus, your creator, And so I just never let things go too long and fester.
Me either, Ashley. My family, this drives my husband crazy because his family's not this way.
Yeah.
But when it's time to say goodbye, it takes us 45 minutes to get out of the door. We say bye 11 times.
Yeah.
I love you.
Bye, I love you, drive safe. Bye, I love you, drive safe. I mean, it's a 30, 45-minute ordeal. And Jeff's like, can you not just say bye, walk out the door? I'm like, no, that's not how we do it. Just go sit in the truck. You can't.
My wife is like somewhat opposite of me. I'm not saying she's not a loving person, but she could be like, yeah, well, I mean, just say bye, that kind of thing. She's
That's
like,
Jeff.
and so I'm like, oh, well, this, and I gotta hug them, and I gotta say this, and I'm very like that because I just don't, I no longer take it for granted that I will, see them tomorrow.
Yes.
That kind of stuff.
Don't ever change.
Well, I try,
Don't ever change. Listen, I'd give anything. I'd give anything.
Yes.
I talk to my daddy 3 times a day on the phone at least. It might be 5 minutes. It might be 20. Daddy might just call and say, Mandy, Church House 7, Dr. Stanley's on. I mean, you know what I mean? Or he would tell me something funny sometimes, but I'd give anything in the whole wide world.
Yeah, I know.
If you're lucky and blessed to have them.
I know it.
And friends too. Friends too.
Yeah, I have a group of like probably 6, 7 friends. I'm trying to count them now, but that I went from kindergarten to graduation with, and we still talk on a regular basis. So, and I say that because I grew up in a small school. I'm going to speak at my old high school again on next Wednesday. And,
awesome.
Yeah, they having a new chapel class or Bible class or whatever. So I'm going to speak with them. The headmaster's wife called me, or texted me the other day and asked me if I would. And that's such a blessing to me. I'm telling you, I never in a million, and this I have I stand in awe of what God can do moments a lot in my life because the blessings He has given me are so amazing. Like the fact that I'm talking to anybody about Jesus is absolutely crazy. If you would have seen me 20 years ago, you'd have been like, no, I'm not letting you talk to anybody about anything. Maybe like firearms and, that kind of thing of what not to do in your life. That'd be like what you could talk about. But so I just stand in awe of the opportunities that God has given me through obedience and blessing, and that's not a about me story. That's about God's story. That's not.
Amen.
That's not a patting myself on the back. That just happens to be the job that just like you said, it's not about Mandy. It's about the position you were in.
Yes.
This is not about Ashley. It's about the position that God has put me in. Mm-hmm. It's nothing about, and I consider that my job now because you have to have a mission mind like that. I read this book. It's a daily devotion from Tim Tebow about being mission minded, and having a mission mind to always seek the lost people of this world because there's still so many. Our mission field is crazy. And I'm not talking about not everybody is made to go across the ocean, across the world, but you can go across the street,
That's right.
So many times we miss that it is so many lost people in our own neighborhoods, in our own counties, in our own towns, in our own churches still, and so our mission fields are everywhere. If you recognize that there's still lost people all around you, and if you don't have a heart for that, if you don't have a heart for lost people, I'm not sure what we're doing here. And
I took Lee's challenge serious.
I did too. Well, I had like a captive audience. I had the opportunity to speak to like 75 people that day. So but that again, the fact that that God has given me an opportunity to talk to people like that in something that I'm so passionate about. And we just do that. And if y'all watch the live that Pawpaw put up that day, that we just do that to encourage other people, because just like I tell y'all all the time, I am not always in your circle. And even if I was always in your circle, I can't affect people in your circle the way you can affect people in your circle. Mm-hmm. So we just encourage other people to stand up in their faith and be bold and stand up and stand out for Christ, because you never know how your story will affect other people. Like the day Mandy told her story, my life changed because of that.
Oh my gosh! Don't make me cry.
I can tell you that don't be afraid to tell your story, because you have no idea how that can change somebody or touch somebody in a special way. And so
I think that's why God let me live.
Yeah.
I defied all the odds, and I think it was He wanted me to share my story.
Yes, ma'am.
I know for a fact it is. And that's why every day it's not just if you're in ICU and hooked up to a ventilator, it's every day when God opens our eyes. He has given us new opportunities to tell our story that I'm not even the main character of. It's my story, but I'm not even the main character of it.
Amen.
And so I think it's not just, I lived from this, so I must tell my story. No. God opened your eyes today. That means He still has a purpose for you. If you don't know what that purpose is, pray for other people, because that's all you need. Pray for other people. If somebody, our preacher talks about his mom was on her deathbed, and she was like, I don't know why the Lord hadn't taken me yet. And it's because God still has a purpose for you. Just pray, Mama. And He says that all the time, And I think if we don't know what else to do, in this world, just pray.
Just pray.
And like I say, hey, if God answered all your prayers yesterday for everything that you if God answered all your prayers tomorrow for what you prayed for today, how many people would it affect more than you?
I told my daughter recently, she was stressed out and coming a little unglued, and our conversation led, and I said, Lily, think of all the things you've prayed for and how many prayers have already been answered.
Yep.
Think of the prayers that have already been answered.
I think that's why I think about prayer journals are so important, with like what you pray for and that kind of thing. And then you look back at them, say you look back at them at a year and they might not have been answered. But you look back at them at 5 years and see what God's done. You look back at them at 10 years and see what God's done.
Exactly.
Yes, y'all, I did that. And I went back and looked recently at a prayer journal with some stuff I wrote down 2 or 3 years ago. And I was like, I'm living in what I prayed for 2 or 3 years ago. God did it.
Yes.
God
Yes.
did it. And it's so cool to go back and look at that and go, well, there's an answered prayer, there's an answered prayer, there's an answered prayer, and check them off. And you can actually see what he's doing.
And like my friend JC says right there, how quickly we forget what God does for us.
Y'all, I don't want to. I don't want to talk about my hospital stuff. That's what this live's about. Nothing about it. But when I was by myself and nobody could come visit, and I knew I was dying,
Yeah.
and I just talked to God around the clock. One of my prayers. I did get a piece, and I was like, Lord, if this is your will, just please let my family come see me before I go. You take me. But my prayer was, y'all, and I mean this bottom of my heart. I prayed, Lord, I have one daughter. Just let me, and I'm a wedding planner, just let me do my baby's wedding. Let me live long enough to see little. And guess what? She's getting married November 1st, and we are planning the best wedding I've ever planned in my life. I've done over 1,700, and this is the most important one.
That's awesome.
So that is a major prayer answered. I prayed that over and over and over, laying there in St. Francis Hospital.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Big prayer answered.
God's so good.
He is
Hey,
so
guys.
good every day.
I've got to hop off of here.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you so much for having me up, Ashley.
Yeah. Anytime.
I will see you
Absolutely.
guys. I've got my live this evening at 6 p.m. Central. So if y'all can come on in there, I'll see you then for reading the Bible. But I love you guys, and I hope y'all have a great weekend, and God bless you.
God bless you, Lee. Thank you so much for your obedience and reading.
Yes. I'll be there, Lee.
Okay, I'll see you. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye, sweetie.
All right.
I know I missed every live yesterday because I overslept and then hit the ground running. I was in event planning mode all day long yesterday up to my eyeballs. But then I caught Bert last night. That was the only one I got to catch, and I didn't like it. It made me feel ick all day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I missed it. It changed my day.
Doesn't recharge your battery like it should. I know what you mean.
Oh, yes, it's different. I hated yesterday. I overslept, just had to get right in it. And even if I pop on Heidi's 15, 20 minutes, on the way to an appointment, or I'll say, I'm riding dirty. I'm watching and listening. I can't comment girls, to the next appointment. But yeah, I hate if I don't get to start my day with y'all. I don't like it one bit. But yesterday was one of those days. The only one I got to be involved with was Bert.
I know my eyelashes are really long, y'all. If you can see.
Oh wow, they are. Hey, Papa.
Did you hear?
What's up, guys?
Hey, Papa. Did you hear the time that I said that I used to use a curler on my eyelashes?
Because it hit your glasses.
It hits my glasses. Yeah.
Yes, I was on that live when you said that.
Crazy. I probably still need to. My lenses were too close to my glasses.
You could be an eyelash model.
I know it. Yeah, if it wasn't attached to my face, it'd be great.
Mandy, you said you have done 1,700 weddings.
Over.
Wow.
Facts.
That is amazing, really.
That's not counting all the other events. I got hired to be the event planner. Right now, one of the events I'm working on is the Greenville Little Theater, downtown Greenville, that does all the plays and musicals. They hired me to be the event planner for the 100th anniversary gala, April 9th. And this is a big deal. And so yesterday I was working on that all day. I'm talking red carpet, searchlights. And I'm not allowed to say who the entertainment is, but they're big Broadway and screen stars that are coming to be the performance after the big party under the tents. And yeah, but I do all kind of stuff. I do fundraisers, but weddings are my bread and butter and is my main thing. But I even do consulting for new venues. Like if somebody calls me and says, Mandy, we've got this big barn that we've renovated or this big space and we're thinking about doing that. Can you come take a look? And I go out there and, give them advice on what they could get for rental, what they need to do to bring it to that point, what the competition, just guide them and consult. But I do that too.
That's something that my daughter has voiced to me, and her husband one day would love to own a wedding venue, and so
It's a great business.
yeah, I'd like to see them do that, be able to help them with that. That would be.
Well, let me tell you, weddings are big business and they have been hardcore. Weddings change from the time, we're all sort of close in age. I'm the meemaw of this three right here. But yeah, I'm the meemaw here. But it's changed drastically. Over the last 20 years, it's gone insane. It's gone insane. I don't know about what in y'all's areas, if you have a lot of wedding venues, but I'm telling you, it's huge.
Well,
everybody wants to get married in an old barn and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, man, none of these kids want to get married in a church anymore, and the church would always be there for free. Our churches would.
Churches aren't free anymore.
Yeah.
No, the churches aren't free anymore. If you're a member, some of the churches, yes, but most of the churches, the average price for the church is $1,200 to $1,500. Then you got to pay the sound person, you got to pay the custodian. So you're looking at about $1,500 for the church weddings now too. Really? Yeah, but yeah, a lot of the girls, and what I run into all the time is say. Now, I still do weddings in churches and their receptions at a separate location. If they are born and raised Greenville, they grew up in the church is beautiful, all the things. But, I was raised in the Baptist church, in First Baptist, and this is going to sound awful, but it's just the facts. Some of the the Baptist churches, and you may love your church and your church family, but your church has got sherbet green carpet or mauve pink carpet. Mm. And it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the wedding design. So I
love how she just started talking like designing women on.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
Delta Burke.
His name, Julia something. What I think.
Yeah, Julia Sugarbaker.
I do call Julia Sugarbaker more than y'all know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll have their preacher to do their wedding, of course, but at the venues. And there's a lot of people love having.
That's Mandy's new nickname, Sugarbaker. That's what we're going to call her.
Mandy Sugarbaker.
I've heard that for 100 years. I've heard, oh my gosh, I've had people back in hotel days. I remember so many people. I had this man one time on an elevator. Do you know who you look like? I knew who he was about to say. It was going to be one of several people. And I said, who? He said, you look like Sue Ellen from Dallas.
Yeah.
Linda Gray. I hear that, and Susan Sarandon, and all the same things that these women have in common. It's big eyes. That's all it is. Dark hair and big eyes.
Mandy P. Turkey Sugarbaker. Somebody
P. Turkey.
P.T. Sugarbaker. That's what we're going to call
it.
Mandy P. Turkey Sugarbaker.
Hey, I'll own that one.
Yeah. P. Turkey.
I'll take it.
Who is putting this event together? Well, we're consulting with P.T. Sugarbaker. So
okay, yeah. Well, I say it sounds like the consensus. It needs to be in April because a lot of people have said make sure late March or not the 1st of April. Some of the comments and the messages I'm getting. So, what do y'all think about mid-April?
There's Miss JC. If y'all don't know Miss JC,
hey guys.
There's JC, my friend.
What do y'all think about mid-April?
It sounds fine. I don't know. My calendar gets a little tight in the spring, but I'll try to make something work. Whatever it is, I will try to make it work. If it can't, it can't. But
we got to pick a date that, especially we want as many as possible, but it's got to be this core family.
Yeah, I understand. We will definitely make it happen. See what we can do. So y'all
want me to pick some weekends and throw it out there?
Yeah,
I think so.
I will have to connect it like with what I did this year because we pretty much go to the same things
Right.
in the fall. So unless something just anything else that pops up, I can kind of avoid. But there's certain dates in March and April that I can't miss. So
Well, get those
Yeah,
dates
I
together,
know.
Ashley, and see what you
I'll look at my planner from this past year and see what we did because
I mean, I'm going to say this, and everybody's going to agree in the group. Paw and Ashley, the two of y'all, if y'all not there, no, y'all have to be there.
No,
I mean, the
that's-
two of y'all.
I'm kind of like Ashley. The fall and the spring, there are a lot of events that I do during the fall and the spring. But this is important to me, and I want to.
it's very important to me.
Very, yes, this is big.
I didn't mean to try to deny the importance of that. While I was
No, we know.
while I was
You got a
talking.
professional responsibility. I mean, you got certain barbecue.
There's
companies.
there's certain events that I can't that are already pre-planned that I can't miss.
Oh, well, I understand that.
Yeah.
Um,
Miss I'm doing the gala for Greenville, South
Yeah.
Carolina.
I've done some fun ones. Y'all know Ryan Suckup, football player that played for Carolina. He won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I did his wedding.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of athletes. Those have been fun.
Yeah. I bet.
Sweet, good people. And you know what? Ryan Suckup, he played for Carolina Gamecocks, then went to Kansas City Chiefs, Tennessee Titans, and then he won the Super Bowl year before, 2 years ago with, what's the guy's name that retired that was married to the model? So famous.
Oh, Tom Brady.
Yes, he played with Tom Brady the year they won the Super, just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
But Ryan Suckup is such a devout Christian. He prefers talking about his faith and hunting over his football career.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
I
Sure
saw.
enough.
I'd heard that he was a Christian fellow.
Oh, he is. He married an Easley, South Carolina girl.
Mm.
They met in college at University of South Carolina.
Hmm.
And yep, sure enough, he is. But yeah, let's get some. Y'all look at dates because I know everybody. I can comfortably speak for everybody in this community and family that has grown. We'd be heartbroken if the two of y'all wasn't there. Like, we got to have y'all there, Bert, Jason, Andrew. I mean,
Yeah.
core group that.
I
just
believe
gotta
it'll
be
be. It could probably be sponsored by Conway's at that point in time. After
Well, it
this,
should be. Andrew Conway should sponsor this, without a doubt.
JC, what have you been doing? Have you been soccer practice or what have you been?
Yeah, coaching soccer like every day almost. No, not every day, but actually the reason why I got on is because I wanted you guys' advice. Okay, so I've talked to you before how like my church or whatever, it's like massive, right?
Yeah.
And so we're actually meeting with the pastor and some other guys today, like at 11 Central Standard Time. So you can pray for us.
Yeah.
He actually was awesome. Like our pastor was awesome this weekend. He basically was calling out our church a little bit about how, like we're more Bible minded in a sense of like our church is so spiritually sound. It's ridiculous. Like everybody at our church, I'm telling you, like half the people are probably could be a pastor. Like that's how much knowledge our church has. But that's the problem with our church is we're too knowledgeable and not, like relational,
Yeah.
Not
and so
personal.
he kind of called that out. And I've gone to my church my whole entire life, so I've seen it all. And our pastor's new within like the last 2 years, I think, or 3 years probably now, I think. So he's starting to see, I think, some of that. And he like met with a guy one time that left our church, and he was like, "I've done everything. I've gotten involved in everything, but I've made no connections. And I went to this one thing, and I mentioned something biblical, and then somebody called me out for it, and it was like." Okay, where's the compassion? Where's the, like, why am I so much better than you type of thing? So he kind of called people out. But we're going to meet today and basically kind of reiterate all that stuff that I've grown up with. It's like, you can go to all these things, but everything's so on the surface that there's no, like, it's not really relational. It's more just like acquaintances for everybody in the church. But yet we're a big church, but yet a small feeling church in a sense, because
That's how
everybody's
my
grown
church
up.
was, JC.
Yeah. And
I
so-
know what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I even said, probably like literally 99% of our church looks like the perfect picture family, you know?
Yeah.
And I even said, because I wrote this like 7-page thing, so it's easier for me to mention everything. And I said, with our church size, you have to have alcoholism, you have to have abuse, you have to have pornography addiction, you have to have like children leaving your family. You have to have all these problems in this size of church. But how many people in our church would feel comfortable going to somebody else in the church with your problems? No, nobody. Like I was like, 99% of our church would not go to 99% of our church with their problem, because there's so much judgment and that every family looks perfect. And the other problem I'm finding too is, I think this was one thing I brought up. When I grew up in my church, most of the kids like were public school. Now, most of the kids are homeschooled. So we're so sheltered. We're like in our little bubble. Nobody can join. Like, it's just like people come in and I'm like, you can't even, if a person from the outside the world came in our church, they would feel like an outcast, you know? And nobody knows how to be relational.
That's why we left our gigantic church. There's
Yeah.
some good people, and the preacher, I love him. But you could be sitting beside them in the pew, but then see them at the restaurant and they don't speak to you.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
that
so I'm trying to
heartbreaking?
figure out like what can, like, do you guys have, I'm trying to think of like ideas to get people to get out of their, like, let their guards down. Like, because whenever I'm a very, like, Ashley, you've gotten to know me. I'm very open, like, whatever. I like to be open with people and whatnot. But I told this to my husband. I said, when I'm open, no one else is open. So then you feel judgment right away, right? And he said it's different with guys, he thinks, or whatever. But I'm like, well, maybe guys don't care. But then girls have, like,
Where do you live?
I don't know. I
Jason?
don't like girls.
He lives
I
in
think girls are
Nebraska.
so hard to talk to.
Nebraska?
Yeah, I'm in Nebraska.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have any ideas or anything for me to help bring up. But I'm like, how do you change a church that's been grounded for like literally 70 years? Some of these people have been there for almost 70 years. How do you change people's mindset
What type
in
of
ways
church
to not
is
be
it?
arrogant,
What's
not
the-
be prideful?
Is it non-denominational or is it Baptist?
Yeah, we're evangelical, Bible believing, like literally just strictly from the Bible. Like we're very
Is it,
like literal.
Does the pastor preach infilling of the Holy Spirit? Indwelling of the
What do
Holy
you mean by
Spirit?
that?
I
I think you cut out again. Sorry.
Being filled with the Holy Spirit. Does the pastor
yeah.
talk about that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, it's like literally like, it's
You're
basically like John
spiritually
MacArthur.
fed. You're spiritually. It sounds like you're saying that you are being spiritually fed by the pastor, but
Yeah, the pastor's amazing. Like-
congregation, but the congregation does not have that personal relationship or
They're not
comfortable.
people that want to do life with you.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what it is and stuff. Because we grew up with like the pastor before this. He was kind of like the older generation, right? Everybody keep to yourself. His teaching was, hey, you have a problem, read the Bible, get over it. He didn't really believe in any. I mean, counseling to an extent, but he didn't believe in any counseling. Like it was just like your issues are your issues, get over it, read the Bible. And I think there's obviously times you need the Bible for certain things, but you can't have that lack of emotional relationship with people because people actually have emotions. People deal with things. People have mental breakdowns, you know? And I think we never addressed anything like that. We never addressed, like I said, like nothing. So it's kind of carried on. Like all those people are built underneath that pastor and it's trying to now change our church. How do you change a mindset? You know what I mean? That they've had for so long and stuff.
I'm surprised you're not losing members left and right.
Well, ironically, since we got our pastor, we've been growing. So we were losing under the other pastor. But with this pastor, we're actually growing.
Is
So-
he younger? Is he younger?
Yeah, he's like 46, 47. So
What's your median age of your congregation?
I mean, honestly, we're like filled at every age.
I'm talking about like what's your average age? Like that, would you say are you of the average age of your congregation or?
No, I'm literally saying we probably have the same age for every single bracket. Like we have like a huge older congregation. We have a huge middle congregation. We have a huge like like it's almost like kids and stuff too. Like it's all across the ages.
Okay.
Not even joking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because we just built. I mean, literally families. It's just because it's been family. Like everybody marries everybody in my church. So.
I mean, that is somewhat good, but we're raising people now that to let people believe that it's okay to be on your own, to live this life on your own, and that's not what church is about. Church is about living this life, needing other people in your life, of doing this life with other believers. We're supposed to, that's the way we're supposed to live, knowing that we need Jesus and knowing that we need other people in our lives to bounce things off of. And whether it's me and Paw talking or what, but, you know, I have shared things on here, you know, in our groups and in our lives and stuff that I probably haven't shared with a lot of people. You know, I can't say that I've given my testimony everywhere, but here I gave it in front of, you know, probably 70 strangers, you know, really. You know, I haven't, except for Brian, I don't know any of y'all personally like I've ever met you personally. So, and we have a little more freedom because there's less judgment. Because that's the first thing we think about when people we know is that, oh, I can't tell them that because they're going to judge me. And we kind of know what our atmosphere is. So I think everybody at your church probably knows what their atmosphere is, and they recognize that. So it's going to be, as much as you want to bring walls down, that's like you might as well teach a train to go to run on the river, because it's just going to be a different thing for them. And as long as they've been there, they go. And I'm going to a church right now that we can't get the paint changed in our sanctuary, let alone anything. They're so set in their ways of how things are decorated and how things are this, and they can remember this and they can remember that, and they hold on to things. And the biggest problem with things trying to grow is people try to hold on to old things. And so you can't have, just like in your personal life, you can't have growth unless you let go of things that happened to you in the past. You can't grow with Christ. It's like you don't have a finite amount of storage in yourself. So you have to let go of old things to be able to create new things and grow in Christ. So you have to let things go. And so when churches are the same way, they can't let things go, and so there is no growth. You know, if you can't let some of we used to do it this way and we used to do it that way and this is the right way and all that, if we don't let some of that go, well, this is the kind of music we play, and this is the kind of, you know, we read out of this, and, you know, we read out of the King James Version, and that's it. You know, if we don't let some of those things go, then we're never going to grow.
Right. And it's so important for the younger generations to get in the church for it to continue to grow too.
Yes, because we don't know how to if we don't change the way we reach people, because like I was just talking about with Mandy and Lee, if we don't have a heart for lost people, if our church just sits on our blessed assurance and is happy with where we're at and what we're doing and not moving, and still like, hey, I have a heart for lost people, as we should as individuals, but our mission should be that of a church also. And if your mission changes, like my church I love my preacher to death, but our mission of our church has changed since I've been there. And not physically the mission statement written on the wall. It's just that we're not looking to want to grow. We want to hold on to things that like we've been used to, because COVID, somebody just mentioned COVID. COVID changed the way we did
Everything.
church.
Everything.
Everybody got used to watching church on TV and staying inside and going to school like this. And
That happened to us. I'll be honest. That happened to
yeah,
us.
exactly.
Yeah, that
And-
happened to us.
And so I just think that's a hard thing to do. That really to, and I'm not saying it's not impossible, because if God wants that to happen, it will.
JC, when you said you wanted advice,
Yeah.
what is exactly
Well,
that
like
you want to
ideas,
know
like
how
how
to
do you
say?
get how do you get a church to change of that magnitude? Like I'm just even the funny thing is I actually find my generational the most judgmental.
Yeah.
And like I think it's because I was saying all my friends my age homeschool. There's like maybe 2 people that don't. And the problem with that too is you're just in your little bubble with homeschool. You're not out in the real world. Like I coach soccer. I'm with my kids play sports. Like we go do all this stuff. My kids are in the public school. So even my kids are feeling judgmented because they're not homeschooled. You know, there's just like a whole, if you're stuck inside this bubble and you're not in the real world, how do you have compassion for the people then that are in the real world coming into your church? And that's what we're seeing too. It's like
Yeah.
how do we accept people that come in? How do we accept people that don't, he was kind of mentioning this. Some of these people come in and they don't have any knowledge of the Bible, but yet you've been here 50 years and you know so much more than them. And yet you're
Yeah.
trying to talk 5 points of Calvinism and debate that, or you're debating whatever else with them and they're just trying to learn Jesus. And he said, we just need to get back to Jesus and not all this extra biblical stuff that we're just trying to, you know, when you get to heaven, God's going to ask you all these biblical questions. Did you know this? Did you know that? And my husband even, like he said, yeah, sometimes I'm intimidated because sometimes these guys know so much, but now I've just gotten over it. I don't even care anymore. But, you
I
know,
think
it's
your
like hard when you
pastor,
have so many.
I think your pastor, in my little opinion, it sounds like your pastor needs to really focus on that to the church family.
Let's get back to the basics.
Yeah,
And not try
I mean,
to
one-
teach everybody chemistry in here.
That's right. I mean, like really hammer down and preacher to the church family and pastor about that and talk to everyone about it. Needs to be a focus that y'all are hungry
I think
for
that's what he's
that.
trying to do now. He's going through, I think it's 2 Timothy right now. But, because, he's talked about, I think he'll go over, based upon what he said, he's like a 6-week thing, kind of going that way. But I was like, I'm just going to at least go in there. We're going to discuss kind of this because, like I said, it was weighing on my heart to go in. And I was like, I think God's calling me to go in. Adam's, because I even like last night with my husband.
Is this an initial conversation you're having with your pastor about this, or have you discussed some of this? with
It's
him?
funny when he came here first, I was like, Justin, you got a lot of work to do. Our church is broken because we've had like we had a big thing that happened in our church, and I was like, everybody has their guards up. I'm like, maybe people will talk to you, but nobody talks to each other. And then, so I said that right when he moved here a couple years ago. But like, I think it was neat to see what he taught this week. It was really encouraging because I think he's starting to see it. And it's just a matter of maybe, I don't even know.
Do y'all do activities like the good old days when you go to the fellowship hall and have ice cream and, you know, all the
See, we do that kind of stuff. But since our church is so big, it's like you say hi to somebody, but there's no actual deep. I mean, they have Sunday schools and stuff, but again, like I was saying, I'm like, my Sunday school is all my age. And I'm like, I kind of like people different. So I might mention that too, is like, can we mix up the Sunday schools even? Like, why does it have to be so much? Like, we have an old person Sunday school, like 90 and not 90, but like 80 and above, all those old people all together. We never get to know them. And I'm like, even I help out in the nursery. So I'm like, sometimes it's fun to talk to these like college, high school kids or whatever it be. And so it just felt like that's one other thing. It's like, why are we so ageism in our church where you just pretty much hang out with your own age group?
Well, see, they're saying small groups, and that's what I was about to say. Small groups is a great, more intimate thing.
Or life groups, we call it, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, they do home Bible studies and stuff. But I think, it's just, it's funny though, because I'm like,
what if, JC, I think what Papa was fixing to ask, what if you like went to that Sunday school class one day?
The older.
oh no, I
people.
do. Oh, you mean the old people? Adam won't go with me. I want to go so bad.
Do it.
He's like, I'm not with that old of group. And I'm like,
Just
I like old
do it.
people.
Like, hey, just go one Sunday and say, hey, I just wanted to sit in and get to know some of y'all.
Do it.
I know.
People
I
will
think
follow.
That's where things begin to change.
That's right. Yeah. The thing is, it's like, I don't know if you know who Jordan Peterson is, and if you do, I'm not saying
Yeah,
that
I
you
think-
agree with everything he says, but one of the
Yeah,
things
right.
that he said is, before you try to change the world, make your bed. And
Yeah.
I think that's something, all we can control is ourselves. It's hard to change a church, but you can change your approach and something you do. Like, it might start with you simply finding 3 or 4 couples and inviting them to dinner.
That's right.
So it's just
Yeah.
small things, it's just really small things. And you can because the church, man, here's one thing in the group with Read the Bible, with Ashley, all the lives, we're not dealing with money. And as soon as you introduce money, and that's why the paint in the sanctuary won't change, because the person that's tithing don't want it to change.
Because of the politics in church.
All these things that a pastor has to deal with that we don't sometimes see, right? He's got to deal with the business of the church.
Exactly.
The politics in church.
Yeah. And so,
Well, and that's too. I'm like, well, he knows a lot more going on than I do too. So that's also, to meet up and that kind of stuff.
Keep your pastor, or keep your preacher or your pastor in your prayers, like constantly, because that man puts up with more and says less about things that he should say more about, and it just happens all the time, because you're talking about a person that has to hold his tongue more times than a person should. I mean, because there's not going to be, he might love everybody in his congregation, but you have to deal with people separately and differently every time. And you might not there's always 1 or 2, and the bigger the church is, there's probably more, of people that you don't enjoy dealing with. Like, I'm a deacon in the church, and you're like, you always have somebody coming up and complaining about something, and sometimes I handle it wrong, or but just like, hey, you can catch me in a not so great mood just as well as you can catch anybody. And so I had somebody come up to me and talk to me about something before church a couple weeks ago, and I just wasn't in the mood about that, to have a good discussion over that. And I said, hey, I'd appreciate it if we talk about this at a different time, because I'm not going to give you the answer that you want right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, and we're going to actually meet. I actually had him bring 2 other guys too that are in the church, because I think they have really good ideas too. They're actually my age, or even one's younger. Actually, they're both younger than me, but they both grew up in the church. They both kind of are in situations, and now they're running more of that community stuff in our church. So I have them coming in too. I think, because I'm like, it's good to talk things through and then bounce ideas off people. And
more times than not, whatever the age of your pastor is, your church will become, the median age of your church will become in the range of your pastor. So say that you're I got spam callers. So say that your pastor's 35, then your average age of your families will be 35. I mean, or 35 to 40, and they'll have younger kids and all that. And so but if your average age, if your pastor's 75, then your average age of your church is going to be 75.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
that's
that makes
true.
sense.
And that's just the way it is. That's just,
It's hard, because we're growing really fast right now, and so I think he wants to kind of nip it in the bud, whatever you call it. Just hey, we need to be welcoming everybody that's coming in here that's different than us and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just gonna go. It's more of like I see all of this too, and we just need to make sure as these people are coming in that we know how to react to them. And the other thing too
See,
is
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm
Yeah,
going
you're good.
to pray specifically when we get off of here that God gives you the right words and they're all receptive and they get excited about it.
Yeah, thanks.
And that they get on the same page. I'm going to pray for that for you, sweetie.
well,
And I think they want that too, because the guys I'm talking to, I feel really comfortable talking to them. I've known them for a long time. The other 2 that we're bringing in and whatnot, and all of them. So I'm not too and like
Intimidated
worried
by-
about it. And Adam's gonna come with me, he said. But yeah, no, I think it'll be, yeah, because there's a lot more people coming to our church, like I said, and I think we just have to figure out a way to be. I was thinking we need to get more in the world and not necessarily. I mean, people are so scared that if they get in the world, they're going to be of the world in our church.
Yeah.
And then they don't have, like I said, they don't have the compassion. They don't have the empathy for people coming in that are in the world. And then we just end up like being our little bubble, you know? And so like I even said, like, told Adam, I said, if I had like somebody new that was like, say in the world or whatever, they're just a brand new Christian, would I really send them to my church? You know what I mean? Like, would I send them to my church, or would I like actually pick a different church in town that I know where they could fit in really well, where they could get like the more relational stuff and, you know, that kind of stuff.
That's kind of like suggesting somebody to a hospital. You know what I'm saying? If we have that mindset that churches are like hospitals, we have to, that we're full of sick people with this disease.
I actually mentioned that. I actually have that in my writing, because even says it's like Jesus didn't call for the saint, like he didn't call for the righteous, he called for the sinners.
That's
and
right.
I mentioned, you know, like how he when he ate dinners with the tax collectors and the sinners and stuff like that. But our church is not like a hospital. We're perfect. We don't need fixing.
That's right.
But,
And so
know.
that's the wrong church for for new people to come in, because you're going to walk in and get their whole wrong idea about church. And so you wouldn't recommend your hospital that you're in. You wouldn't recommend that to a newly found sick person, because people of this world that are just starting to seek Jesus, they didn't know they were sick. They just found out. Mm-hmm. Like before I found out, you know, that I was a sinner and that I needed a savior, I walked around, didn't think I needed saving. Like I didn't know I was sick, right? And so these people don't know they're sick. So they're like, well, I don't need that. And so when they figure out they do need it and they go to the place and everybody there is not welcoming and they're looking at that I'm wearing shorts, or I'm not saying wear shorts to church, but they're looking that I'm wearing shorts and flip-flops and my hat on because I don't know any better. Mm-hmm. They don't know any better. Whoever's walking in and looking different from you, they don't know any better.
I even mentioned that too. I was like, is it the way we dress when we come in? You know, like, are we getting, like, are people able to walk in here? Are we going to be judging them? I mean, we're not like, we used to be very, very dressed up. Now we're more relaxed, but still, it's still dressed up, you know, like some people still wear all these suits and everything, you know, and all of it. But how do we judge those people walking in, you know?
I had
mixed emotions about that personally. It's come as you are, and it's sad if people think I can't go to church because I don't have the right clothes to wear. Yeah, that holds people back. But maybe I'm very old school. I don't know. And I'm not saying, I mean, the days of wearing a suit every Sunday, you know, those are gone. But I also personally, I don't like when you are dressed like you could go straight to the beach when you leave church. You're still in the Lord's house. Mm-hmm. I mean, you wear a golf shirt, nice shorts and stuff like that. But when I have visited some of those big churches like that, I don't know. I've got very mixed emotions about it. I think there's a fine line of.
But I agree with that for a believer. But if you got somebody that is a new Christian or an unbeliever,
come as you are.
Come as you are.
Absolutely.
And I had a greeter in my church that turned somebody away because they had their hat on backwards. They turned somebody away at the door. Now, do you think that person ever stepped foot in another church in their life? Because people tend to group us Christians together. And we're always one to kick a man while he's down, you know. I know it's horrible. It's terrible. It made my stomach turn. And I had to talk to this older gentleman in our church that was a greeter. And I said, we can't do that.
That person obviously didn't know any better.
He did not know any better. It's just like a child doing the wrong thing, you know. and I'm not saying that's the wrong thing, but I'm saying if you don't know any better, I didn't know any better as a child, and I had to be corrected. So if you don't know, if you were never taught manners or etaquette of how that needs to be, then just chalk it up to somebody not knowing any better.
That's right.
But don't refuse that. You know how much courage it took for an unbeliever to come into a church they had never been to before?
Right. They might have been contemplating it for months and months and months, and that was the Sunday they decided to go.
You just ruined them by turning them away. And this is exactly what I told Mr. Don that day. This is exactly what I told Mr. Don this day. I said, because I myself was probably like a year or two from being saved when I became deacon. I said, let's not do this. We don't need to do this.
Would Jesus have turned that man away?
Yeah, no.
Like, that's the
If
thing
I
you gotta
was
think about.
consulting a church at all, greeters are one of the most important
Yes.
things you can have, and trained properly would make a huge difference. Because
That's what my daddy was. My daddy was involved with the church. It was Brookwood. It was like one of these big mega churches. He grew up in First Baptist, but my daddy got involved with Brookwood. My daddy, everybody said, Mandy, your daddy should have been the mayor. I mean, he just knew everybody. My daddy was hilarious talker, but daddy was the head greeter. Daddy would line them up, do their schedules, teach them what to do. The perfect thing for my daddy to serve in the church.
when my oldest daughter was probably 6 or 7, she started going to the little children's church, and so I said, man, I want to be a part of that. So I went up there and just became I'm a greeter because I'm gonna cut up and have fun with the kids and stuff like that.
Yes.
Story. So these little kids would come up, and if I'd never met them before, I don't care if it was a boy or a girl, I would say the same thing. What's your name, Fred? I said, what's your name, Fred? And the little girls would laugh. Oh, my name ain't Fred. And it would break the ice with the parents, just cutting up and having a good time. And this little black boy walked up one morning. I said, what's your name, Fred? And he looked at me like, how did you know? And I just even hugged him. I said, boy, I've been looking for you for 2 years.
That is hilarious.
That's funny.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That greeter, man, sets the tone in a lot of ways, man. If they're friendly, people feel accepted. If they catch a little ice water from them, they don't want to come back,
You might need to say some tough things today, JC.
Yeah.
I fell in love with my church because how welcome and warm it was. You know what I'm saying? And when I came to visit there, and we're a very warm church, it was just that gentleman that day that decided to make the wrong thing. We're wrong idea, but we're a very warm and welcoming church. We're a very giving church. I love the people in my church. But we hold on to things where we don't grow. As far as changing our ways. And I'm not saying we should not necessarily just like the approach of things. It's just like we're not going to change the Bible on people's lifestyle. We're not changing the gospel of anything. We're not changing. If you teach the church, the Bible in your church, the Jesus believing Bible and of the Trinity, me and you are on the same team, right?
Yes.
No matter what you call this, what's the name on the outside of the thing, me and you are on the same team. So we need to get back to the basic stuff and not think that everybody knows everything. And if they don't know everything that we tend to look down on people. And so that's the worst thing we can do is put ourselves on a pedestal and look down on people when they come vulnerable and try to be healed from everything this world has thrown at them. I remember being a Christian like that, of being a new Christian and saying, man, I just need somewhere to be loved and healed and and somebody would tell me that, hey, Jesus has got my back, and that he's going to overlook and he wants to use me in a special way. And now, did I know that what God had in store for me through this, and and everything? No, but we talk about that God math of how God wants to multiply on you and add on you the things that He has planned. And so it's just it's amazing that we still have people that, like I always say, sit on their blessed assurance, or they think that everything's all right. But not everybody that sits in pews are righteous with God.
Well, it just shows you that not everybody that's going to church has the right motivation either.
No.
And if you're going to church because you can't wait to set that person straight that doesn't know what you know or whatever, then these motivations they're not pure,
That's right. That's right.
Hey, guys, thank y'all for inviting me to come up here. I do need to bounce real quick, but
I really do too.
I do too. I gotta go get a shower. That's why I'm not on here where you can see me. I look like a ragamuffin.
PT Sugar Baker.
That's right. I gotta get in the shower, get my hair, microphone, and get the boogie and get what I gotta get done.
Hey, let's pray. We're gonna pray for JC,
Thank you.
especially, and pray for her church. And Lord, I say we're going to throw in praying for all of our churches wherever we choose to do corporate worship. I think corporate worship is so important in our life, and which we should worship daily, but to worship with other people on a Sunday in a house that is dedicated for God's house. I think that's so important in our life to learn biblical ideas from a man that has been taught theology. And as long as it's a sound doctrine that they're preaching from, I'm all about it. And so,
Ashley, pray for Curtis too. Were you in Bert's Live last night? Did you witness that?
I was not, but
what did happen?
So what? Not to interrupt you, but I just feel convicted to pray for this man. I followed him and I sent him a message, and I know Waco did. A lot of people did, but all of a sudden, across the screen, he said, "This might be my last night. Will I go to heaven?" Well, Bert zeroed in on that.
yeah,
And it was what you're thinking immediately. And this young man had serious PTSD, did 2 tours, had seen a lot of stuff. He was at rock bottom. And when I tell you Bert's Live last night shifted to show this man love, he was hurting. I mean, for probably 20 solid minutes, that's what we did. Everybody was talking to Curtis and just begging him, to call out to God, and just everything was just beautiful of how the love that was on this young man. And I hope he's here today. I hope he's here today. It was a heart-wrenching experience, but beautiful in the sense how the people in the live, the whole focus shifted to this man. It was real hurt. It was real live happening in front of us. And everybody, even Torchy this morning, said, Curtis is on my heart. I'm worried about Kurt. I mean, so pray for Curtis.
I will.
He's suffering. We don't know his, entire story. But
God does.
God does, and that's what Bert said. Bert said the right things. He was spot on. He was so loving and so chisel focused on this young man. But he's a veteran, and he's seen a lot of bad stuff, and we don't know what else is on. But I mean, he was saying things like, and just excuse me, in the live, he just said, "I'm nothing but a big piece of shit," and things like that. We're like, "No, you're not. You are worthy," and that's the devil talking to you. And we were just trying to love him, and it was scary. It was scary. Waco immediately messaged him that he's going to try to get him with the right person, with the military, you know, and he's got the connections for that. Waco jumped on it. Several men did. But anyway, keep that man in your prayers. It was serious last night. The most serious situation I've seen yet in all of our lives that we're on together.
Wow.
All right, let's. I was looking outside. I think I missed the trash man, which my wife will be mad at me about. So, but it's it's okay. All right, hey, let's go to the Lord in prayer, and we do want to pray for Curtis, and we want to thank Bert for his life, and also for God using him in that way and giving him exactly what he needed during that time. So Bert's a good soldier for Christ. And so let's go to the Lord in prayer. Our gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for this time together with these friends, Lord. We pray for this man named Curtis. I don't know the situation, Lord, but the thing is you do. And I pray for those that heard that, and I pray for Curtis and give him comfort and peace. And Lord, just pierce his heart that he may turn his life to you. And thank you for Bert Wallace, and giving him the words that you did, Lord. We thank you for your blessings, and you thank you for your just comfort in exactly when we need it, and giving us the words to say exactly when we need those. And so thankful for this group. And Lord, just be with JC today as she goes into Christian counsel with her pastor and through their church, and just trying to lead their church in the right way, Lord. May we have a heart for the lost, and continue to not put up walls against people, but to know that we need to live this life with people in a very Christian way, and we need to depend on each other and be able to lean on each other, and also lean on you as our great lean, Lord. Thank you for the way you allow us to be leaning on you and your stronghold, and always being the anchor in these storms that we go through, Lord. Thank you for the way you love us. Thank you for your grace and your mercy, Lord. I just thank you for this group, and Lord, I pray for a protection over them and blessings over their homes and families, Lord. And I just want them to know how much of a blessing they are to me. And Lord, you tell us that if we don't know how to pray, we can just call out the name of Jesus, and that's enough, Lord. And I thank you for making Jesus enough in our lives. And thank you for the way you love us. Thank you for forgiving us when we fail you, and we do daily. And Lord, I pray these things in the name of Jesus, by the precious blood of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you guys for the encouragement.
Yep. JC, you have a great day. We'll be thinking about you, okay? Tell us how that turns out, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me up today, Ashley. I love it.
Hey, love y'all. Y'all have a great day.
Everybody have a great day.
I'm going to go chase down a garbage truck.
Go run.
All right.
Run fast.
Good luck.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.